Right, first day of the new camera stand. It's already looking better. God, did I just have a cranky morning or what? I couldn't believe it. So, all right, folks, bringing you in here. I am already 4 hours behind this job. I just had to do a lot of garbage admin work that I should not have even been doing. Not your problem, it's just my problem. But when you're a flag paying tech, that's what gets under our skin the most. When you're not wrenching, you're not making money. So nobody likes to do double checking paperwork and explaining things that are common sense. We need to stay in our lane. We need to get our jobs done. We're going to do an evaporator core on this 2018 Outback here. This evaporator core is buried behind the dash. We have to pull the dash with the crash beam and the wiring harness out of it. Now I've already done my evacuation of my AC system because that takes the longest. We're going to go into bleeding our coolant system. Now I do not bleed it traditionally from the radiator bottom. I'm actually going to take advantage of this coolant hose that passes through our throttle body. It's there for warm-up purposes, but in either case, coolant does pass through it. And then I'm going to suck all the coolant out through there with a vacuum machine. It works amazing, and it works even better if I have the proper size nipple that can go on that throttle body. That's kind of annoying. I thought I had the correct size. Ooh, I think it's this one right here. Yep. Alright, so there we go. Gotta put a suction cap over there. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna plug off the throttle body side. Then I'm gonna use my vacuum service machine, which is for doing AC flushes. I'm gonna shove this hose into this hose. Like so. Start sucking everything out. I like doing it this way because this machine measures how much coolant I take out. So I'm going to be able to get about 1.5 gallons of the coolant out of here. And then this also reduces the cost for the customer. Now I always do advise to my customers that this is an opportune time to take advantage of free labor because I have to drop the coolant system. I have to purge the coolant system because in order to get the evaporator core out, I have to pull the heater core with it because it's all one piece. It's encapsulated into one housing. They're two separate entities inside of another assembly. But everyone's trying to save money because this is not a cheap job. This is about a 12-hour job to pull all the interior apart to get to this. It's a very labor-intensive job for a $300 evaporator core. So when somebody's trying to save money on engine coolant or trying to cut corners, this is one of the things that is offered. But you should be changing your engine coolant every 10 years, 100,000 miles, and this car does have 100,000 miles on it. But they want to take this opportunity to save $50. This is not a corner I would cut. Okay, I'm starting to collapse my radiator hoses. That's good. And we're getting about the last little bit out of it. Now, if this vehicle did have a control valve body on it, you would have to put the control valve body into coolant purge mode. So that way we could pull all the coolant out of the different quadrants of the engine and the heater core. This does not have a thermal control valve body. Perfect. Just got to leave that there like so. Okay. When we do go to recharge the system, we will be using we will be going through our radiator neck to fill the system. Put that cap back where it belongs. If anybody's in chat, I will be bouncing in and out of chat a little bit here and there, but I don't want to get too distracted. This is a job that I need to get done today. It's already 11:30 Central Standard Time. I need to have this car blowing cold air by 5 o'clock. So I'm on the clock. We're going to leave that there. I think this will be my 4th evaporator core on these cars. They very rarely go out. This particular one is an interesting case. Because it went out because the evaporator core just corroded. It corroded because a customer parks under a tree and pollen and leaf debris kept clogging up this fresh air intake called the cowl. And that was over time working its way past the cabin filter because the cabin filter is not a perfect fit. Things can still creep by it. And all that biomatter just created the perfect environment for that evaporator core just to rot inside of the HVAC housing. That's why we tell you it's really important to change your cabin filters often, not park under trees. If you do park under trees, you got to keep this clean. Like I park under a tree and I kid you not, like twice a week, I'm just blowing this out. So all that plant matter in there destroyed it. There are such things as evaporator core flushes, where they flush a cleaner that goes into the housing that helps get it out of there, but you can't use that as a fix. That's a maintenance. So damage was done. Okay, now I got to find a place for y'all to hang out inside the car. Where can I put you where you are not going to get smacked? Well, that's just where we're going to try our other camera mount. Pain. Lots of pain. And that goes on there like that. That goes on there like that. Oh yeah, this might work. See who's going to bother me. Hello. Garage doors or AC? Oh. All right. There it goes. New phone holder. All right. You get a stay. Kind of cheap, kind of sketchy. Got all the windows down so I can get as much airflow in this car as possible. Because it's going to get warm. All right. Thinking headrest right here. Right here. Come on. Seats suck. That's weird. Never had that problem mounting it to this part before. Then again, it is a $10 mount, so nothing's perfect. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so I think we'll start right here on this corner, and then we're gonna have to work our way across. Normally I would be wearing gloves for this, but such is not the case today because my hands will get sweaty within seconds. The shop is about 90 degrees. Inside the car is even worse. So I'm just going to scrub my hands up super good. Take a microfiber with me and get to working. It will get a courtesy wipe on everything when I'm done. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get some A-pillar action going here. And the roof is gonna be my best friend for storing things. I got a mover blanket up there. Mover blankets are my friend. I need a trim tool. One of the best strategies when doing big interior work like this, pulling a dash, everything you take off from the left side, go into the left door panel, right side goes to the right door panel. Keep a little cup or use the cup holders for the center. If you take anything from underneath the dash, leave it on the ground, so that way you have a frame of reference. Everything from here was in that door panel, here, there, bottom, there. That's how you can echolocate. It's how you leave a breadcrumb trail. It is super hard to keep track of all this stuff mentally. There's no amount of little things that'll help you. I think I'm going to switch course. I want to get my center console out first. That's what I want to do. Okay, takedown pin comes out of there. I'm going to reinstall it. Put the chrome cap back on. So all I got to do is slam it back down. I'm good. Okay, these shifter components, I don't want to lose them, so I'm going to put them in my armrest. This car has already been like pre-cleaned by the customer. It's really, really helpful to be honest with your customers and let them know how important it is to have as much personal belongings out of the car as possible. You wouldn't think it's important because you're like, oh, you're just pulling a dash. Why don't you take everything out of the back? Well, because I'm going to use the back as storage. I don't want to put your stuff on the ground. The ground's dirty. It's full of concrete. So I like to use the back hatch as a catch-all for everything in the vehicle. Because, now, worst case scenario, let's say whatever I do to this car, like I just have to stop working on it. I don't know why, but I have to stop working on it. Everything's already in the car. It's protected. I can push the car out of my bay and work on another car. Because that does happen in this industry. You'll be working on something, boss man's going to come by and say, I know I shouldn't take you off this, but you're the only one I have that is qualified to do this job or is certified to do the job. I need you on that. Usually happens when there's something like a hybrid or an electric car comes in, because I'm the hybrid and I'm the electric certified person. Those situations normally happen on Saturdays, because Saturdays we don't have a full crew. It's a half crew, but we're required to have one fully certified tech on hand. So if somebody comes in and they got a hybrid or an EV problem, you're it. Nothing you can do. I am already sweating through my shirt. This is ridiculous. The other thing you want to do that's very important, I don't see enough people doing it. It's before you take apart any dash, you want to do a full systems check of every button, every switch, and confirm it works. Because anything that doesn't work when you put that dash back in, it's your problem. You will be held accountable for it, whether it was malfunctioning when it came in. So in this case, I make sure the radio works, the Bluetooth works, the SAT works, the navigation works. Obviously, there's an AC problem, but I make sure that the heater works. Hazard buttons, all these controls work. Anything that'll be disturbed. I even do like an all scan with my computer on the car and make sure that there's no pending codes or anything like that. So right now I'm on the driver knee guard, just getting his knee guard panel off. Whenever I do big jobs like this that are potentially going to take up my whole day, I always like to run fun little games, and I like to bet and see how many people want to talk to me or bother me or ask me for some assistance. I mean, I don't mind all that, but I swear, whenever I start big work like this, where I gotta stay clean or I gotta focus, this stuff's like catnip, you know? Okay, so there's 2 bolts on this center console. I gotta move the seats forward to get to them. One on each side. But what I'd really like to know is how many of y'all like this vertical stream stuff versus the horizontal stream? Because I like horizontal stream better since you guys get to see a better panoramic view of what's going on. But YouTube doesn't promote horizontal stream. They're only promoting these vertical streams because I guess they think that you all like to watch people put makeup on and stuff. Because that's all I see on vertical streams is people just talking to themselves, putting makeup on. I like doing horizontal stuff. And when we go horizontal, then I get to use my big 4K camera with the fisheye lens. It looks a lot better. Well, maybe I will do that. What do you think? Should I take up all the bandwidth with my stream today? I don't mind shutting down the shop Wi-Fi. Let's do it, right? I'll get my other computer out and I'll set up 2 streams. Ooh. Yeah. Pretty cool. Let's see if it'll let me do it. Oh. That's if I got the grip for it. Well, I do got a grip. Nice. We got grips. Did I bring in my iPad today? I do have my iPad today. Ooh, let's kill some batteries. Seats are so slow going back. All right. Mm-hmm. Video, standard. Display. Preferences. Should be this one right here. Orientation locked, check. There it is. Okay, we're gonna go 16 by 9 on this. 30 frames a second, check. Wide, check. Capture, check. 7. Boom. Yeah. Can't see my password. Put it in pair, connect. Nice. We are connected. Let's just get going. Battery's charging, check. Let's go, check. And we're gonna go straight to live stream. 2018. .720 is good enough. Wide angle lens, check. Title. Watch me work, high def. There we go. Live stream set up. It's clicking. Check my baud rate over here. Make sure I don't max out anything and lose y'all. That would suck. Oh, we are good. Looking to see if I got a spare cold shoe. I do. Because I broke the last one. Got it. All right, we're going live. Okay, so we got 2 lives going right now. So if y'all want to watch this in high def on the GoPro, just go to my channel and click on live, and you're going to see the horizontal. Okay? It's about as good as she's going to get. I don't have my other mount, so I got the long one, which I'm not too happy about. Maybe I can kind of scroll it up better like that, get a little bit more stability. Yep, that's going to work just fine. That's going to work just fine. Okay, cool. Price is asking uninstall, reinstall. Dude, this is an R&R, yeah. All right, so if you don't want to look at the small picture, you can go to my channel and you can get the big horizontal stream, okay? That way you can see everything that's going on. Vertical stream's only going to show you this, and I'm going to have to do a lot of moving, but the horizontal, oh, you get to see my whole meatball. If that sounds exciting to you. There we go. Probably get a lot more detail too. See, I'm just going to be using a cup. Put that right there, and all my center stuff goes in there. going to apologize in advance if you hear a lot of moaning and groaning, though. I am having some old man problems. I just started getting back into the workout circuit. By that I mean I went to the gym for the first time in like 2 years last night, and I tried to work out like I was 25 years old. Oh yeah, I set up a fan now. Oh, that feels better. So yeah, tried to work out like I was 25 years old. Was not a smart idea. Say I kicked my own ass, and I don't feel good about it. Now I'm almost 45 years old. So hamstrings are pissed off. Glutes are pissed off. Everything's pissed off. I wasn't doing any crazy weightlifting. I was just doing a like a Tabata workout. Some people call that HIIT training. But basically, it's just work a movement or an exercise for 30 seconds as best you can with a weight that you can control or a momentum that you can control. Then you take 10-second breaks. And I'll do that for 9 iterations. None of this trim wants to be my friend. That's what I'm not liking. Trim's old, it's full of dirt. A couple of more hidden ones in here. Come on, man. One more hidden. There it goes. So if you're just joining in, if you want to see a wide angle version of this as I'm doing it, go to my main channel. Okay, so I got 2 streams going. One's in vertical for people who like to watch vertical streams. Bunch of weirdos. Then you got the good version that's in high def. Nice wide angle. But, you know, you'll have to turn your phone sideways. I know it sucks. Nobody likes turning their phone sideways. That's just a waste of resources, right? I'm just picking on you. I tease. It's just an annoyance. It's just an annoyance on the YouTube side. They created an entirely different column for just looking at streams, and the only streams that they're showing are vertical. So if I host a horizontal, I don't get put into that, which means they're not promoting it. And if I want to be promoted on a horizontal stream, I gotta pay for it. Weird. Yeah, I had a tool. What did I do with it? Oh, a trim panel tool, little flat spoon thing. Have you guys seen it? Am I sitting on it? I am sitting on it. This thing. I get our AC module out. Let's pull our bottom trim up. Sorry if the GoPro mic, my lapel for that is busted. I'm fixing it. Gosh, this shit costs money, guys. So I had one, but it stopped charging, and I filed a warranty claim, and that involved me having to send it in to prove it. So that'll be gone for 2 weeks. I need this out of here. I'm really happy that the dash foam is still in good condition, because I've worked on some of these dashes where I had to pull out to get to the cores. If the dash looks like it's got some funny business going, you're gonna want to find like a test area and do some prying where it's not going to be seen to see how much flex is left in it. So there was like a car from like 2005. I had to pull the whole dash to change out the evaporator core. It was some sort of Chevy or some crap like that. And we had to tell the customer and be like, this dash is going to get really beat up coming out because this car's just, the dash is all dry rot. It has no flexibility left in it. And you're going to see, like, everywhere, like, where we go in, like, that's how you have to get it out. There's no way around it. So you're going to see blemishes everywhere. Their new dash was like $400. Not a happy camper. But, you know, as I explained, I said, you haven't paid us to do anything yet, so I don't know how you can justify being upset. I'm not making any money off of selling you a dash. I'm just trying to tell you what the outcome's going to be. I ended up just letting the job go because that guy was just being hysterical about it, thinking that, oh, like, you're just going to break the dash taking it out. That's why you're making me buy a new one. I says, no, actually, I'm going to hand you your keys back, and you're gonna go find somebody else, because I'm not taking this drama. As soon as you start drama, I'll give you your keys back. It's one thing to have a conversation with somebody who truly wants to understand and is reasonable and patient. And there's one who's just making accusations, raising their voice, and um, being insulting. So as soon as you start saying, "I'm just like everybody else, I steal money," that's when I ask you to go find somebody else, because your mind is already set up. You've already set the tone. No apologies. I don't care. It's kind of like walking into a restaurant and telling everybody, "Hey, the chef spits in your food," and then you try and play it off. "Oh, I was only joking. I was just doing it for laughs, to make people laugh, so people would pay attention to me." Well, that chef's probably going to tell you, "You can't eat here anymore, so don't be offended." Trying to make an analogy, folks. I hope it stuck. I need this center pocket out. I'm going to see. Might have to move my shifter, so I got to get my interlock here working. There we go. I just want that out of the way. If you're going to do that, always make sure you got your parking brake on, or you got the wheels chalked. And these center pockets, they are not fun, okay? That is, they're just not fun. They're really squirreled up in there. They're jerks because there's like a USB charging port in here. There's a light bulb. There's a 12-volt outlet for your round plug. And guess how much cable slack they give you? Starts with the letter N, ends with none. So if you like zip tie cuts, this is your favorite job. It's also got a 12-volt plug with a one-way clip on it. That one's my favorite. All right, so I'm gonna push from the back. So trying not to use too much prime forces here, because if you start prying from the left and the right too much, trying to work it out, you can kind of tweak the hinges on this hood thing. Be just bad. There we go. And supposed to be supposed to be a release for the 12-volt plug. Sure, it's somewhere dumb, like underneath the tool. Oh. There we go. The little push clip wasn't working anymore, so I just lifted her up. Again, one-way clips. You gotta remember, your cars are designed to go together. They're not designed to come apart. That's why this job pays so much. Somebody went, what are the odds we're going to have evaporator core problems? Probably some engineer was like, I don't know, maybe like 1 out of 10,000. Good enough. Good enough. The other thing I did too, if you weren't listening here for the beginning, is I set up a second camera on my stream. So if you want to see this and wide and not vertical, you can go to my channel and you can see the second stream and join that one. There we go. Come on, yo. Hey, Screw, come out. Seriously, Screw? Who put you in sideways? Not this guy. All right, need to get me a little pocket screwdriver so I can pull all these hard to reach screws out of here. Ooh. I think my second round of Advil's finally kicking in. Not feeling so bad. I was telling you all earlier, thought I was 25 years old again. Went back to the gym for the first time in like 2 or 3 years. And I worked out like a 25-year-old. Did the protein, did the pre-workout, went into beast mode. I was like, yeah. Came home, ate about 3 pounds of chicken because I was starving. And I woke up this morning and thought I should go to intensive care. Hamstrings are locked up. Back is killing me. Shoulders. Oh, shoulders. Mostly like all the armpit muscles. That's what I really focused on. I didn't do anything too big like squats or bench press. I'm going to work up to that in about 3 weeks. What I'm really going to be focusing on the next 3 weeks is stabilizer muscles. Because believe it or not, I did actually know what I was doing when I was in my 30s. I took working out super serious, got really into it, got my diet straightened out, no drinking for like 2.5 years. Got down to 178 pounds, had a fantastic bench of 250. I was really happy with that because I wasn't trying to go like full yoke. I was trying to go for that lean athletic look because I was really into bouldering and rock climbing. So squats and benches weren't my main focus. I was really focusing on lats and abs and grip strength and forearms. It also really helped that I was living in South Korea at the time, and dieting in South Korea is so easy. It's not like here in America. Oh gosh, here in America, trying to diet correctly is next to impossible. You would think that eating South Korean food is just as bad as American food because they have all those crazy candies, but that's just kind of a bonus. What's nice is there's just fresh, homemade, prepared food on every corner, and fast food is not really a thing. Like, you have to go out of your way if you want to eat at a fast food vendor. And I didn't eat a lick of fast food over there. I was just eating basic cafeteria food, mostly. And it was cheap. So affordable. As long as you were willing to eat the common people food. Obviously, if you want to go out and eat steak dinners and go get barbecue, you're going to go broke fast. I had a ton of udon, soups, bread. I ate a lot of bread, but it was their rice flour bread. It wasn't a wheat flour bread. A lot of rice patty dishes. My favorite was sushi burritos. There's a Korean word for it, hangul. There's a hangul word for it, but gimbap. Yeah, they call it gimbap, but because I was a dumb American, I nicknamed them sushi burritos because basically it's just sushi that's wasn't sliced up. They would just have the whole thing sitting right there. It's in a deli window. You pick out which roll you want, and then they just wrap it up in butcher paper, and you eat it on the subway. Or in my case, I would stop by and I would get about 5 of those every morning, and I would eat those for breakfast, snack, and lunch. It was like my favorite snack over there was pickled radish. Love me some pickled radish. All right, steering wheel's got to come off now. This will be fun. Start the clock. Sometimes I get these in about 10 seconds. Sometimes I get them in about 10 minutes. There used to be a just 2 torque screws that would be on the side here. Now they got these little push clips. and they can be pretty fun to find. They make them like this so that way you can install the airbag super fast on the assembly line. You just go boop, and it's done. Oh, you know what I should do that's like a really good idea? I should disconnect my car battery. Just saying that out loud. Let's go disconnect the car battery. Because there's airbag connectors in here, and I need to start the de-energization process. Because I'm sure you guys would love to have an airbag blow up on me on live on YouTube. That'd be great. I mean, I don't want an airbag to blow up on me because them shits are dangerous. They're literally an explosive device. And ooh, I got one. See, look at that. I got one. Let's try and get the other one. I know a mechanic personally who's been personally injured. Okay. Permanently injured, not personally injured. He's been permanently injured. He doesn't have full use of his left arm anymore, but he was working down here where there was an AC control module, and he didn't mean, like, he wasn't even working on an airbag system, like, to begin with. He was doing something else, and he was in there like this, like his arm was between the steering wheel, and he wanted to get to something, and then he's like, well, like, there's a box in the way. He didn't think about it, you know, even though all the cables going to the box are yellow. You know, we're always in a rush trying to get stuff done because we're working against the clock. So his arm is through here. He moves the box. Curtain airbag goes off, and the steering wheel airbag goes off, and it like ripped his forearm out of his elbow and dislocated his shoulder. It gave him a concussion. So they did everything they can to help with reconstructing his arm, but he was telling us over a few beers one day. He's like, I've never told anybody. He says, but he's like, they were seriously trying to amputate it because they were telling him like, you would live a better life if we could just cut your arm off, because there was just so much damage done to it. And they said the chances of them being able to do any kind of reconstruction is 50-50. And this is like 15 years ago. So yeah, technology's come a long way. He's doing okay. Like, he can move his fingers and stuff. But as far as like gripping and holding on to things, nah. Wrenching with his left hand, those days are done. But he runs a express oil change place now. So traded in his wrenches and took one of those jobs at one of those drive-through oil change places, which sucks because he works with idiots all day. If you work in one of those express oil change places, I don't want to personally call you an idiot. I just say it in general because I fix a lot of mistakes that come out of those places. Everything from transmissions being drained and engines being double filled, drain plugs not tightened, oil changes just not done at all. Like, that part I didn't understand. Like, how do you go through an express oil change place where they have a pit There's somebody in the pit and a car comes over and somebody tells you drain the oil, but you don't drain any oil. And like, it's like the car just drove through and you got charged for an oil change. It's so weird. All right, come on, yo. I'm working on this one. Instead of beginning, I got 2 cameras going. So if you're on the vertical stream, you can go to my channel. You can get the horizontal stream. You can see everything that I'm doing. Otherwise, if you're on the vertical stream, you're just here for the conversation. How do you get there, you say? Oh my gosh. You're going to have to click on the symbol for my YouTube channel. It's going to take you to my page. And then you'll swipe over to live stream. Yeah. YouTube doesn't make it friendly. Sorry. I'd put a link in the description, but, you know, so many people don't know how to even find the descriptions of these vertical streams. So much easier just to say, go to my channel. Not trying to insult anybody specifically, but just saying generally. YouTube doesn't make it easy for me to solicit things to you guys. Because what I really, really want, because the software has already been made to do it. YouTube just doesn't want to put it in. But somebody's already made the software through OBS, where you can film horizontal, so with your phone sideways, but it'll create a vertical stream out of it. Here's the clincher, though. If on your while you're watching the vertical stream on a mobile device, if you turn it sideways, you now get the horizontal stream. Isn't that cool? It'd be so dope. All right, I'm losing my mind with this one. Like I told you, these things are 10 seconds or 10 minutes. You don't want to do any kind of crazy prying. It could just be a butt. Let's go for the bottom one. If you're having trouble with one, just switch to another one. Okay, so I see the tab. Okay, so I got the bottom one. That was easy. See, it should just be that easy. But every once in a while, you get one that just kind of, you know, fights you a little bit. I think one of the airbags I took off a long time ago, I had to use a bore scope. It was insane. And the reason why is because the airbag had been pulled by somebody else who must have struggled with it, because they probably did like a prying motion, and they bent that bar, and that bar was dug into the aluminum housing of the steering wheel assembly. So whenever I hit it, it just wasn't releasing. And I got the same thing going on with this one. Like, I'm feeling it. I can feel it. I'm not hitting it. There it is. Okay. Our airbag's been de-energizing because we've had the battery disconnected. If you're going to be disconnecting airbag components, you need to disconnect your battery. You need to wait 1 minute to 10 minutes. So you should really read the service manual. It's been over a couple of minutes for me, so I know I'm safe. The important thing is, where do you store this? This thing's a bomb, okay? If I set it on the ground like that, this is the projectile, so it's going to go against the floor. Boom, it's going to turn into a projectile. I want to lay it on something like this, okay? So I'm just going to put it on the back floorboard with the airbag sitting up. So if the airbag did decide to go off on its own, it's just going to kind of go boop. It's not going to turn into a projectile. All right, going to take this 17 millimeter off, but I first want to mark my steering wheel. Got to find my crayon. So marking the nut is pointless. I'm going to put marks on the shaft, marks on the aluminum housing. You see how it has a little bit of a tilt here? I'll use my crayon, and I'm just going to make a little highlight here on the spec trim. That's going to clean off just fine with a little bit of trim cleaner. You always do want to make sure your steering wheels are as straightforward as you can get them, because on these late model vehicles we have something called a roll lock connector, and we don't want to make it mad. Roll lock connectors, clock springs, whatever you call them, they're expensive, folks. So you get this off one of two ways. One, you can get a apparatus from your local auto parts store, and you can get what's called a steering wheel puller. There's a jig, you put it in here and here, and turn a screw, pulls it off. The other way is to beat it off with the palms of your hand. So I'm going to put the nut on about 2 or 3 threads. There she goes. Okay. She's loose, but because I put that nut there, it didn't come flying off. It's important that I put that there because, as you can see, there's wires that have to pass through here that are part of this clock spring assembly. And if this thing was to go flying, it'll pull the clock spring assembly apart. Because the clock spring is cheap, folks, it wasn't designed for that kind of impact. Let's not misplace these screws. They're unique to this piece of trim. Got a couple of tins up there, right? We get this gauge cluster out of here. I thought somebody might have been venturing in here. That wasn't even tight. See, that one I could twist my finger like that. Starting to kind of get hungry. And we're going to push through as much as I can. I'm not happy about the late start that I got. I should be putting the evap core in by now. But circumstances that I couldn't control, I had to do other things first. And I tell you what, if you're an advisor or you're a manager and you got a tech who's like in the mood to pull dashes, you leave them alone. Because as soon as you're like, oh, just do this, oh, just do that, we lose the motivation. Trying to get the motivation to pull dashboards, no, it's hard to get. I had to psych myself up. I found it, I see it. Trim might want to come out, and I would really appreciate if it would. Oh, it's not. Okay. That's one person. I was predicting 3 people. Alright, gauge cluster's out. See this? I was trying to get this off. but it is wonderfully stuck on there. Damn one-way clips. There we go. I want this off, so that way I can put the gauge cluster back in there easier without tearing up this piece of trim. You don't want to rip out the leather tarp because it's just hot glued in there. Let's take care of our gauge cluster, put it in a safe spot. There might be some amount of stuff I can leave in here and some that I can't. So I'm gonna try a technique that I've been working on to do this job, because technically this job tells you pull the dash, then pull the crash beam. I think I can pull the beam and the dash as one piece, and that's what I'm going to be trying on this one. Because if I can do that, that's going to just save a lot of time. I got to get this knee guard out underneath the driver's seat. A lot of unfinished metal to cut your fingers on, so be careful. There, get you here. I do want to take down my steering column wiring harness. Yes, I do want to do that because I don't want to stretch it when I do this cheese. And it does technically have to come off anyways if I was going to do it by the book. Clip, check. Where's another clip at? Where the dang nabbit is the other clip? Ah. It's a slide-on little deal. Sneaky little bugger. There we go. And they taped it on just for fun. Oh yeah. Now there's 3 bolts on each side of this crash beam that have to come out. They're Torx, and they're kind of some funny bolts, if I could say it easily like that. They are what not only clamp the crash beam to the chassis, but they also have built-in spacers. So as they tighten down, they center the crash beam. You're going to want to make a mental note or take a photo of how those spacers, how much space are on them. Because if your crash beam doesn't center up correctly, then your dash don't go in correctly. And I think that's where a lot of people have dash problems. I'm gonna get my Torx bits. These are probably gonna be something like a T40 or a T45. These are Allen's. Okay, let's try a T40, see what we get. Perfect. And if you're in between these Torx bit sizes, you're kind of saying to yourself, man, like, it's not a 40, it's not a 45, then that probably means it's one of those mean Torx sizes called Torx Plus. I can see that the alignment bolts are on the passenger side, so I'm going to focus on those. That means when I install this crash beam, I'm going to put the left-hand side, I'm going to tighten those down all the way, and then I'm going to come into my passenger side and put these bolts in because they have the auto-adjusting spacers. One. And they're long bolts. They're about 3.5 inches. And they do have to come completely out. Because you got threads in the chassis and you got threads in the crash beam. So when you take them out of the crash beam, you got to pull the bolt back a little bit and catch it into the chassis threads so you can walk it out. I'll show you when we get all this taken apart. If I sound exhausted, it's because I am exhausted. Started working out again, so my body hates me. just got tired of being exhausted all the time. Like, our car batteries are anywhere between 30 and 40 pounds. And man, it's like yesterday I was trying to move some car batteries and I'm breathing heavy and I go, really? That's not cool. I used to be able to effortlessly carry around car batteries without a problem. Like, have one underneath my arm, holding another one by the strap. Never had a problem. And then just this year. So just this year I've been having problems. So I think if I've been following my weight fluctuations, my body weight problem. So I got super fat during COVID because all the gyms were shut down and kind of lost all that drive to go out. Wasn't doing anything to offset all my caloric intake. I was still drinking. Got super fat. I think I got like 230 pounds, and I'm 6 foot tall. So got me a 38-inch waist, got me a beer gut, got me a fat face. They didn't like it. I did a little bit to kind of straighten my weight problem out. But I wasn't going back to my original heavy workout routine anymore and heavy activity routine anymore. So what came about of it was what I thought maybe might have just been like me losing body fat. I was probably just losing muscle mass. And it really kind of clicked for me the other week with that carrying the car batteries around. I went, can't live like this. And I was trying to put an engine on an engine stand, and generally I can just pick up a whole short block by myself and just slam it on an engine stand, no problems. And now I'm starting to think about things that I pick up. I've never had to think about something I picked up ever. So get my ass off the couch, start going to the gym, make the magic happen. Now we're going to drop this steering column, okay? It's very important that you understand this. These bolts for the steering column, they're not so long. They're not long. They're very short. And once we take the steering column out, there is the high probability that the steering column is going to pop out a rubber grommet out of the firewall, and that's just to keep like water from getting in the cabin where the steering wheel goes through the chassis. If this thing drops too much, well, it's going to pop that out. We don't want that to happen, so we're going to use a floor jack, or a jack stand, I should more specifically say. We're going to use a jack stand to hold it. Another strategy that works for some people is they'll go to the hardware store and they'll get like a really long 6-inch bolt to hold this up. But we're taking out the crash beam, so I need this out of the way. Like so. Okay, so that donut bushing is still pretty good, and I could probably get a lot of wiggle room out of this. Even though it looks like it's going to free hang just fine. Nope. You want to give it some love. Because if that donut goes south on you, you're pulling the steering column out of the universal joint. That is the only way you're going to get that donut in there. I have seen people fight to get it in because they don't want to pull the steering column. Take the 10 minutes, pull the column, put the donut in, slip it in. You're done. Gonna take this whole assembly off because I don't want it to catch on anything. And I don't want to screw around with my clock spring or roll connector, whatever you call it. Everybody calls things differently. Drive shaft, prop shaft, rear shaft, forward shaft. Now, we got into that argument last time, and I could have cared less for it. Somebody got really bent out of shape that I called a drive shaft, a prop shaft. Like, it's all the same stuff to me. Alright, so we're going to do a test pull on here. Make sure that we are all disconnected nicely. So that's the dash moving, but I want my crash beam to move. 4 more bolts. There's 4 bolts around here. Some of these bolts got grounds on them. So make sure you pay attention to that. And they will fall in the carpet, so hold on to them. Oh, you bastards. Can I do this trick? I'm just looking at my air conditioning housing. My air conditioning housing has bolts from the crash beam to the housing, and if I can't get those bolts out, then that means when I pull on the crash beam, I'm going to be pulling on the AC housing, and that's not what I want to happen. So I pull the dash. Not what I wanted to do. Oh well. I tried. Okay, so this side feels good. There's a couple of connectors over there. I got to get that passenger side airbag. Yeah, the blower motor is attached to the crash beam. That's stupid design. Alright, it's got my airbag free. Little courtesy tug. See what's coming with. How's the bottom feel? Yes. If you guys want to see this on a wide angle lens, go to my channel. I have a second camera set up just for a widescreen shot. If you don't know how to navigate to my channel from a mobile phone, sorry, maybe somebody in chat can help you out. But the best advice I can say is click on my channel icon, and from there, swipe over to where you see live streams, and you'll see 2 live streams, one vertical, one horizontal. The horizontal one's in a higher resolution because YouTube likes to put these vertical streams in standard depth sometimes. You guys don't always get the best resolution. I think that's me. There's some love. Okay, good love, good love. So they want this center, I think it's just, it wants this center air vent out. I don't got a problem with that. Let's go ahead and take that out. It's just a plastic clip. I got a hard suspicion that somebody's probably in the comments going like, "Oh, just read the instructions." Ugh. I was like, dude, if you read the instructions for this thing and tried to follow them, they're like 50 pages long, and they're honestly not helpful whatsoever. You read, let's say you be like, I want to replace evaporator core. You click on procedures for replace evaporator core. It's just going to say, use these steps to evacuate AC system. Use these steps to drain coolant. Use these, but it doesn't tell you how many of that step to do. You might overdo the work. Like I had an apprentice who had to do a dash pull, and he's like, gonna follow the instructions, and I let him know. I'm like, okay, and I crossed out some things. You don't have to do these. You don't have to do that because it's total overkill. Dude, the kid had the seats out. He had all the weather stripping off the doors off. He had door harnesses disconnected because they just give you links, and you got to take the suggested material out of those links. Like, they're not gonna write a step by step by step guide to do every single task. They're just gonna give you a link, and they're gonna say, take what you need from it. You should know better. All right, so that's feeling good. I'm liking it. Looks like there's a hidden screw in there for this little Y thing right behind the harness. There we go. Because when I pull up on this, I'm going to be, woo, power tools. When I pull up on this, I'm going to be fighting some things. I want to know what I'm fighting. Okay, so that wants to come out nice. So I got a A-pillar harness over here. That should come apart. Lift up. And we're going to disconnect this. Somehow it disconnects. Okay, so that comes up, but this comes apart. Okay, we got the same thing over there. All those radio antenna wires. A lot of bouncing back and forth. I used to love pulling dashes with my apprentice. And we'd get them done super fast and split the commission. He'd work on one side, I'd work on the other side. What really slows you down is just kind of getting out of the car, going to the other side of the car. I'm not too sure if this has to come out, but we're going to take her out because it seems like it's causing some restrictions. This is the GPS antenna bracket. That was wrapped around the dash. Keyless access control module, that's stuck to the crash beam. Not worried about that. But it is blocking the dash from coming out. Because when I pull the dash, the AC ducting comes with the dash. Let's get that out of there. Yeah, that's feeling better. What the shit? Okay, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. So I know that there's a 10 millimeter nut for this crash beam to attach to the evac housing. I'm turning that nut with my hand. This is like further telling me my suspicions are right. Someone's been in here. Okay? Somebody's been in here. But somebody who's good with trim, because I don't see any busted trim, and somebody who's good about at least putting all their nuts and bolts back. So, no way this car went this long with that much weird loose hardware. Okay, so I got another clip here. But you encounter this stuff, you know? Especially if you buy cars from mom and pop shops, five and dimes. If you don't know what a five and dime, it's where they sell cars between $5,000 and $10,000. And those cars, they come from auctions. They're cars that dealerships don't want. Maybe they've been in collisions. So you'll get a five and dime that'll buy a bunch of cars with some collision damage. Let's say like, they'll tell the auction yard, like, hey, sell me 10 messed up Honda Civics of these years. The auction will put them together and you can buy that, so that way you can piece some stuff together. The auction's pretty smart, and a lot of times they do that kind of setup for you. So they'll have like 10 cars kind of all bundled together, especially if they're all dorked up, because they know that body shops are gonna take things from one car and use them on another car. And granted, sometimes you get a car at the auction. It's a super easy, no problems flip. Sometimes you get a car at the auction and it's just a nightmare car. Because you don't know how many people have been trying to fix that car. Like, we got this Land Rover once in. Really good looking Land Rover. It was a V8 twin turbo. And the guy who buys our auction cars, he was like, yeah, I want to see if we can fix it, because he knows a little bit about cars. And he says, it looks like it's got like a water pump leak. You know, because it had a condition for overheating. And I got it, and I was like, yeah, I can smell some coolant. Yeah, you're right. Water pump leak. It's still going to be like an 8-10 hour job. But then I stopped and I told him, I says, but I don't think it's gonna be as simple as you think it is, because well, the auction doesn't really tell you like how many times a car has been flipped. I was like, you should really try and find out how many other people try to fix this problem. Because this car has been detailed. Like I can see all the signs of a fresh detail. I said it's already had an oil change. It's already had all the filters changed in it. I was like, somebody thought they could fix this. And I said, before we dump a couple grand into fixing a leaky water pump, we should do a shakedown and really see if it's worth going into this car, because you could lose money. Turns out it had some head gasket leaks too. They just cleaned the car up really good. So more than likely, the car was traded in. It was sold, and then it was brought right back to wherever it was sold from for either an oil leak, a water leak, or smelling like coolant or overheating. But yeah, it had every Land Rover problem you could think of with it. So if my memory serves me correct, this is one of the annoying dashes that doesn't have the temp sensor separate wiring harness. I think this is the one I got to pull through the dash. There we go. We're coming apart now, hon. Yeah. More loom, more wiring loom to defeat. Gotta love it. Where are my pliers at? There it is. Okay, I see it. I see it. So it's this wire right here. This is what feeds into the sun load sensor. You're probably wondering, like, how the hell did they put this all in at the factory? Well, they put it all as one gigantic piece. And they put it together with no windshield, no engine, No car seats, no door panels. Ain't nothing in their way. Alright, got some more room that way now. Got this wire wrapped around this stupid AC splitter here. So let's unravel it. It is causing some problems. Getting the dash out. There we go. Junk. Alright, so that's a speaker wire, and then this one running all the way back there. That is for my sun load sensor. And when you read the book on this one, they tell you to gently pull the sun load sensor up from the top and disconnect it, and you're going to attach a piece of string. I really don't like that. On the new Outbacks that got redesigned in 2020, they finally realized that was a stupid design. And now you have a separate harness just for these three things up here. Because there's a light sensor, a sun load sensor. There's that stupid wire. Sensor. Sensor. Let's put that on the roof for the rest of everything else. Pull that through, so that's not a problem. Let's see what else. What else is causing a... Okay. Okay. The airbag, she's got to come over the hump. The AC ducting is going to catch on the crash beam. That's normal. General bulkhead harness problems over here. We can work with that. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. Need to get the beard trimmed. Last try, last try. It's gonna come this way. It's gonna come. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. There we go. Watch the shifter. Which I should put back into park. Shifter's in park. Ooh, what is this? What is this? What is this? More antenna junk. Alright, now we just crab walk our way out of here. Okay, now the crash beam. Crash beam's gonna take my harness with me. If y'all want to catch the action on widescreen, go to the channel, join the wide feed. I'm running 2 cameras, one vertical, one horizontal. So I got the vertical one going for the weird folks that don't like turning their phones sideways. Wonder what's gonna be for lunch today. I'm getting close to my lunch hour. Well, actually, I've already blown my lunch hour. It's 1:30. I should have eaten an hour ago, but I at least want to get the crash beam out of here. Seriously? Dude, I hate it with those clips that just won't want to come out. It's one of these one-way clips that you gotta use a tool for, and I'm using the tool on it, but it's just kind of going, nope. Let's see if I can just, come on, pocket screwdriver. Try and get it out from the bag. Got it. Sounded like I broke something, but I didn't break anything. I'll be honest. If I break something, I'll tell you. But breaking stuff is not what I do. If something does break, it had it coming, and I generally have to pay for it. So I don't like paying. I don't like paying out of pocket for things. Oh, what the hell is this asshole clip? Oh, you're one of them fancy ones, huh? You think you're special? This clip really does think it's special. See, it doesn't have a push tab on it. It's got these 2 ear wings on it. And I have to pull them apart, which means I need a 3rd hand. And And then pull the plug out of the socket. Oh yeah, you think you're special. The engineer who designed that he's got a slow death in hell coming. Okay. Ugh. Okay. Okay, so that loom goes all the way down here, which means I take out all of these. Check. So now I'm super curious. Now I'm gonna go on my lunch break. I'm gonna pull a Carfax. I want to find out who was in this car. Somebody went pretty deep into this car. I don't know what they did. Okay, do I need to get that ground off? Yes, I do. Where's my tent? There's my tent. How many more things are coming along with this? Yeah, one more hidden clip. Way down in the fender liner. Yeah, you read the directions for this, because it wants you to have good access to these clips underneath the carpet. It'll be like, take the seats out, take the carpet out. Don't take the carpet out, folks. Good. Clip out of the blend door. Check, check, check. We're looking good here. It's turning out to be a slow day for everyone in the shop. Feel bad for them. I can always tell when it's turning into a slow day because I hear all their cars coming. They all got chopper mufflers on them. And they go blah, 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 blah. They bring their cars in, they clean. Oh, whoops, see, they're revving exhaust. You gotta let everybody know you came into the shop. Oh, that's always my favorite. You gotta do the rev up tune up and then shut it down really fast because that's the shutdown sequence. Gotta go brown, 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 and then shut it down. This AC duck out of the way. It's gotta come out regardless. With its stupid upside down clips. You're gonna get a sheet metal screw if you don't be nice. Yeah. Upside down, push rivet with the screw ones. I hate the screw ones. Okay, along the way, I'm gonna have to check for bolts because they bolt the crash beam. There's one right there. They like to bolt the crash beam to the HVAC housing. Fine, you can do that all you want. Try and make it, at least try and put it in some obvious places. Good. Feeling good. All right. At least my legs aren't feeling good. My legs hurt. Oh. Yeah, I think once I get the crash beam out, I have to take a lunch break. Kind of getting a little bit of hungry. And wiring harnesses and hangry do not go together well. Uh-oh, no, they don't. It's this kick panel's coming out. Get this driver kick panel out of here. It's a piece of junk. Yep. That poor feller. Ugh. Okay, airbag disconnected. Clip. There we go. There we go. That's back here. One more. Now we gotta get a ground. I need a 10 mil back. Yeah, I think of all the legacies and all the Outbacks, the 14 through the 14 through the 19, the worst dashes to pull. The 20s are slick as snot. They're easy. Because I can take the dash out with the crash beam. This one, it wouldn't let me. This one's feisty. Yep. Oh yeah, see somebody Somebody did work on this card. Now, yeah, I keep finding more things now that I got my head down. We got more stuff peeled back, so I can see where the driver's side door harness that's been removed. Somebody read the book. And the book tells you to pull that through because the book sucks. Don't get me wrong. If I'm building an engine, I'm gonna follow the book, but when it comes to all this body and trim, you gotta just kind of go with your gut. Which means I'm gonna have to fix this door panel harness he messed up. Not too excited about that. Stupid Subaru. Fucking one-way clips. Well, let's just put a dash harness and put a one-way sliding clip onto this 8-pillar pass-through harness connector. No, how about you not? Get this BIU out of here. What's for lunch? Go to the QT, get some hot dogs. I do like my QT hot dogs. At least my QT. My QT has a really good hot dog condiment station, and the hot dogs are always fresh. I helped out one of the managers there a while ago, so he's been like super cool with making me fresh hot dogs to order. So he doesn't put them on the rollers for me. He'll put them in the back and in the oven. Which is something that I wish that the QT kitchen would offer, because I mean the QT kitchen can be pretty good sometimes. Sometimes you get somebody in there who straight up doesn't want to be a food worker, and I'm like, if you don't want to work in food, please do not get a job in a kitchen. Just make everybody's life hell. But that's the thing with QT is everyone has to be trained to work in the kitchen. So I'll go there, Or I could get me a QT barbecue sandwich. I do like the barbecue sandwiches. Subway, get a tuna sandwich. I did have plans on packing my lunch today, but I was super sore and I didn't pack it. Man, I got some crackers, that's about it. What kind of stupid airbag clip is this? You know, just when you've seen all the stupid different types of airbag clips, you find another stupid one. And that's what I don't understand about airbag clips. It's as if somebody's getting paid to come up with different versions of airbag clips. I think that's about the biggest frustration that I have with doing interior work and dash pulls mostly. They can't just come up with one basic design. Like you could have 3 airbag clips all next to each other, and they all have like a different formula for defeating the clip. Like you got to squeeze the left and right tab, and then you got to push, and then you got to lick it, and then it comes apart. Some of them just have like a slider and a push button, and that's respectable. That's fine. But like, why do you got to make it so secret squirrel? And there's like no instructions in the service manual, because obviously the manufacturer don't give a damn about it. Okay, what is this nonsense? What? Nonsense. What is this nonsense? No, you can't do that to me. That's mean. How do I? Oh, these freaking assholes. It's like it's a clip and a clip and a clip. I'm not really too happy about that. Let's see if I can find something to break it down. It's like I need a plug. I need like a terminal in kit to disconnect a plug. There. Why? Alright, I think I'm ready. I'm going to glove up and start hitting things with a hammer. Okay, get my safety leathers on. These crash beams, they got tons of unfinished metal, and they will slice you open like a can lid. So we're going to be using a 2-pound smithing hammer, yay big, and with some pulling motion and some tapping motion. Okay, that's up off the locks. Good. I'm sure it's going to find a reason to get hung up on something, which I'm not too happy about. But I mean, visually, it looks like we're disconnected. Let's go to the other side. How's my steering column? Stay. There may or may not be something over here, but we'll find out. Go up. Yeah, something's still on the airbox. Okay. That's alright. Just gotta look around the edges and see where that hidden screw's at. I swear I got everything. There she is right there. Why is the blower motor still following along? The box. You got it up, hidden screw. Alright. I love me some hidden screws. You would have followed the instructions, you would have seen that, Joe. Looking good. Oh, yes. Okay, there's some blend door stuff over here. One. Come on. Two. And that looks like a temp sensor. Three. Come on. We're okay. We're okay. It's okay. Nothing but sharp metal here. Okay, now we do the. Here's my technique. So I lay across. I got my right knee holding up the passenger side. And then elbow in the driver's seat, kind of lifting up. So now my knee and my hand are lifting up. Oh, what is this? What is this black magic down here? Another. No, why is there antenna wires running underneath? Oh, man. There's more antenna wires for this. I'm kind of in a committed spot right now. Okay. Make my life so happy if you would just disconnect like a normal connector. You gotta have all this proprietary stuff, huh? Yay! All right, one down. I don't see a tab. Some sort of craziness here. Oh, wait, wait. Oh, it's a reverse. It's a reversey tab. You're one of the special ones. You don't push in. No, no, you gotta lift up on the tab. Oh, yeah. You're special. Hi. No, I'm not busy at all. Come let you know that we did the radiator on. It's bad. Check engine lights off. All right, we'll look at his check engine light. He said the steering feels a little stiff. We did the steering rack like in January. Yeah, so he's been using a loaner car that has electronic power steering. STI. Oh, STIs are all hydraulic. They all have stiff steering.
Yeah, no, he didn't just drop it off.
I think he needs to take his car back to CarMax. But he won't get that out of his head. All right.
At this point, he's gonna be like, I've already put this much in it.
Yeah. Oh no, he's totally got gambler's-itis. And we warned him of that when he bought that. He thought he was getting a good deal and it only needed a few grand. And I says, no way, man. I says, STIs, you get that gambler's-itis, you're like $2,000 more. $2,000 more. Dude, he's gonna fix all this and then need head gaskets. Don't buy used high mileage STIs. Please, people, don't do this. Make my life hard. This guy's been in and out of the shop. Like every 2,000 miles, it's something new. The car just needs a complete engine rebuild. Ugh. What is this? What is this? Really? Are you coming with me? What the shit? I definitely don't remember this the last time I did this job. There's got to be a disconnect somewhere. This harness right here is going underneath my center console. I get this pulled, go eat my sandwich, find out why this dude's got a check engine light. And it's probably going to need an oxygen sensor since when he was just here, we did that live stream on his STI and he had a blown radiator. And I did a 5-gas on the tailpipe. And I told him, I was like, ugh, you got some inconsistencies with your lambda. You don't know your tune-up history. You're probably going to need some tune-up. If not, your AFR is going out. Just, you know, classic STI stuff. Oh, I see it. We got an airbag. It's an airbag harness. Alright, I'm trying to get the plug out of the airbag control module. I gotta defeat these child safety locks. There we go. I got one. Two. Can I? This is why they want you to pull the freaking carpet. It's because this thing runs right underneath the carpet. We don't pull carpet. No way. We are the best wall fishers in the world. Ugh. Oh, is that running into the friggin' amp? Oh my god. It's going into the amp. The amp is underneath the passenger seat. Hey, look, I found your napkins, lady. They're underneath the carpet. Okay, we're gonna shift gears because this has an audio amp on it, and the audio amp is under the audio amp harness definitely runs underneath the carpet. Fucking hate that one. I was gonna just try and get myself some clear space and take out the entire crash beam, but with these circumstances happening, I'm gonna admit defeat. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this thing do the electric slide, come back, and lay here in the seats like this. Let's be very careful with all these sharp edges. Okay, we don't want to slice our seats. We don't want to touch any of our trim. Okay, so be careful how you move this around. Do it very deliberately. Now this dumb thing can start getting removed, but I gotta make sure I don't hit any of this. Okay. What other hidden screws do you have for me? I see a bolt right here. I need this on a pistol. Good. Okay, it can lift up, it can lift down, it can go left, it can go right. That's good. Get it off the vents. So there's ducting that runs underneath the carpet. No, you go back on. There we go. Yay! Now that heater core still got some water in her, so don't let it tip so that the water comes out. And let's so ever carefully so drag this out of here and throw it on the ground. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Removing the Evaporator out of a 2018 Outback with 130,000 miles. Whew. Hope you enjoyed it. If you made it over to the other stream, that'd be very nice. Leave me thumbs up, leave me comments. I'll keep this stuff kind of going with Joe's Watch You Work videos. Let me see what's going on. I'm just gonna hit the bottom chat and see where we go. Dalton says that's wild dash pull. Could you not remove the entire dash as whole? Yeah, we tried to do a crash beam and a dash removal as one assembly. Unfortunately, the HVAC unit had bolts going to the crash beam, and I couldn't reach them. Donald's got a Focus with some issues. Richard's 07 Taco has another AC problem. 2023 Forester Touring. Did I make a mistake? No. You bought what you wanted, my friend. Hey, Juan's here. Hey, Fluffy. Thanks for dropping by, man. Yeah, I saw that where you almost ate shit on your live stream. That was hilarious. Let me head over to the wide angle lens and see if anybody left any chat there. I don't see any comments in the wide angle, but if I didn't see them, then go ahead and just leave it in the main body of the comments, or you can email me on my page, guys. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to go get my sandwich, find out what's wrong with this crusty STI, and why it's turning into just a comeback nightmare, and move on with life with what it is. I've decided that I'm going to have a tuna fish sandwich for lunch. I need my phone so I can watch cartoons while I eat my sandwich.